What's going on, Jeffrey Spicer? Okay, your boy got it from the first try. That's what I'm talking about. How y'all doing this morning up in here? I'm doing well. Recovering from the weekend. I know y'all are too. Get that camera perfect, perfect, perfect. I think that should be it right there. Okay, I think we're good. Trump, it's time to raise tariffs ranging from 10 to 70%. We got to get into this morning, you guys. I hope y'all ready, because I am. Let's see if this guy's ready. Me, 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 me. See, I told you I was ready. Let me see what you looking like. Okay, let's give him a shot. Woosah. What it say over there? Okay, let's go for it. Bling, bling, bling. Whenever you're ready with your bling, bling, bling. We gotta start the show with your bling, bling, bling. Nobody can know without your bling, bling, bling. What we, uh, pull up. And woo, seems so real. My mind won't let go. Bim, 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 bim. You know why I'm feeling this good? Y'all know why. Because it's if, bump that beat. Monday, July 6th. That's right, y'all. It's 2025. I'm your host, Bugatti NYC, and this here's our bottom line, where we be talking about this and that and that and this and this and that, where we be talking about this and that and that and this and this and that. Didn't get me pissed. Yeah, baby, we made it another week. Everybody that didn't live for the weekend, let's clap it up. I'm so glad you guys are here. Let me see who we got up in the building. I see we got Liberty and Justice. Thank you for that 199 super chat. Also, we got Jeffrey up in the building from Missouri. We got Mark Dorfman up in the building from New York City. What's going on with Batty Lynn from Detroit, Michigan? Whoa, hold on a minute. Whoa, we got Patrick up in the building. Good morning, my only friend. Well, if I'm your only friend, guess what? You got a loyal friend, Patrick. I tell you that, because I tell you one thing. I'm always on call, but I'm always on time. That's right, because I'll be a real good buddy to real people. As long as you hold me down, I'll hold you guys down too. Always here to show some support the way that you guys always show me support. Y'all already know what I'm going to say. Y'all could have went anywhere, but the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Rebecca. Appreciate you, Chris, Mark Dorfman, Patrick, everybody that's up in here this morning. We got a fully loaded clip. I overloaded it, so I really got to make sure that I stack and give y'all 5 on it. I got to give y'all 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clips at a time. When I give them to you, I will turn around. Then we're going to get to these comments, and then we're going to see what you guys got to say about the content that we got going forward. So without any further ado, I got a loaded clip and I can't wait to let it go, go, go. So with that being said, let's get into these titles. Let's go. What we got right here? We got Trump. It is time to raise tariffs ranging from 10 to 70% on certain countries. He is now saying that it's time to raise up those tariffs. Hopefully this won't affect us in the city, in our country, much more than it already is affecting us. But we got to keep on moving forward, because we got more in the description. What we got here? We got DHS halts migrant flights to California due to their sanctuary city liberal policies. It seems like a cool tactic on their behalf, since they don't seem to feel as if they get the right justification when they send these immigrants to these other counties and other states. I guess they're going to be sending them to red states to go to courts. Woo, might get a different turnover and a lot more deportations that way. We see what's going on. We know what's up. And last but not least, we got your man over here with the tux on, like, uh-oh, what am I planning on? You guys see him right there. That's Elon Musk, who announces a new political party, which he has named the America's Party. You guys interested in joining? What do you guys think about a new party? Let me know. We got to get to it because we got so much in the clip. Let's get on to it, you guys. Not even going to waste any time this morning. Again, when you chime in, it always helps to let us know where you're chiming in from. This way we can be on point with the content. Let's go, you guys. Let's go. What we got coming up first is Trump basically is on Air Force One speaking about China, also Iraq, something about the Iranian president who says U.S. should pay for the missile strikes. He kind of laughed that down, but also we've got a lot of information on this. Yes, the Iranian president or leader says that he feels that the United States should pay for the damages in the missile strikes. That's what I just said. We're going to keep on moving forward.
We always have gotten along. You're going to have to say that again because you're being blurred out.
Iran wants to have the UN force the US to pay for the damages that were done by the strike that the US did.
I think it's pretty ridiculous, yeah. I would say maybe very ridiculous. Go ahead, please.
Mr. President, Putin has not agreed to a ceasefire. Do you think he's mocking you?
No, I don't think he is. I think he's worried about sanctions. I do think he's very worried about sanctions. And, we're determining that the Senate, as you know, has put in big sanctions, very big sanctions.
Patriot missiles coming to Ukraine?
Well, they need them for defense. I don't want to see people killed. And they're going to need them for defense. They're amazingly effective. We knocked out 14 out of 14. That's pretty amazing.
All right, I want you to go and see what the Supreme Leader basically had to say, because out of nowhere, yes, the Iran Supreme Leader actually came out yesterday, and out of nowhere, we haven't heard from him in a few days. They say he crawled out from his rock, and basically the Supreme Leader makes his first public appearance since the Israel war.
How many Iranians are in the country that are in sleeper cells trying to do bad to America right now?
Well, look, you and I have talked about this many times. I said the last 4 years, my biggest concern was this open border was the biggest national security vulnerability this country's ever seen. So I pulled numbers this morning just from a CBP under Joe Biden. There was 1,272 nationals of Iran released in the country between OFO and the Border Patrol.
A startling assessment of just how open our borders were during the Biden administration, especially now as the Trump administration ramps up its monitoring of Iran-backed sleeper cells. More than 400 terrorism-related encounters occurred at our borders during the Biden administration. That includes hundreds of foreigners on the U.S. terrorist watch list.
Yeah, well, it's coming from a place of weakness. The Supreme, Ayatollah, needs to show his face, needs to demonstrate that he's still in charge. But at the same time, he's been militarily completely decimated. His nuclear program has been obliterated, and he's in a position of weakness right now. And he's just trying to hold together his power because, the 90+ million Iranian citizens want a better life. They don't want this war and conflict that he has fomented. It was kind of this policy of no war and no peace, where they had these proxy groups, and Israel put an end to a lot of that, took out their air defenses. And this is an interesting thing that's going on right now worldwide, is that air defenses are at a premium, they're low availability, and the United States, having just passed this one big beautiful bill, demonstrates through the this acceleration of the Golden Dome air defense and missile defense program, that ultimately we get it, and we're going to continue to be the world's preeminent superpower, and we will protect ourselves and our citizens.
Okay, also, we got the president that signed the disaster declaration for Texas. We haven't talked about anything local. That's what we need to be doing as well, because you guys know about all the flooding and the terror and the terrible disasters that happened there. So we got a bit of gaggle. Remember what we said gaggle was? That's anytime journalists or any type of news people catch the president on the side where it's not, organized or anything like that. So again, that's where we got a little bit of gaggle right here. Excuse Air Force One in the back. It's a plane.
And it's a horrible thing that took place. Absolutely horrible. So we say God bless all of the people that have gone through so much, and God bless the state of Texas. It's an incredible place. Any questions?
President, are you still planning to phase out FEMA?
Well, FEMA is something we can talk about later, but right now they're busy working, so we'll leave it at that. Go ahead.
For the trade letters that you're sending out on Monday, Secretary Bessent said that it would be a 3-week extension and that rates could go back up to the April 2nd level on August 1st. Is that what we should be
sending letters out on Monday having to do with the trade deals? Could be 12, maybe 15. Secretary of Commerce right here. And I guess, Howard, I would say it could be maybe as many as 15 or so. And they'll be going out on Monday, and some will go out on Tuesday and Wednesday, and we've made deals also. So we're going to have a combination of letters, and some deals have been made.
Elon Musk starting a third party.
I think it's ridiculous to start a third party. We have a tremendous success with the Republican Party. The Democrats have lost their way, but it's always been a two-party system. And I think starting a third party just adds to confusion. It really seems to have been developed for two parties. Third parties have never worked. So he can have fun with it, but I think it's ridiculous.
President, what's your golden key back from Elon?
Go ahead.
What's your
They asked him if he wanted the golden key back from Elon. He said, go ahead. Don't try to get me on no sideline bull crap. You see, he starts laughing. He couldn't even hold it in right there. He had to laugh. He couldn't even hold it in. You see him? He had to laugh. Scott couldn't even hold it in. I don't know. No, I'm sorry. I ain't even going to say his name because I made a mistake. But he started to laugh as soon as he said, go ahead. America will be angry at this one big, beautiful bill. There's a lot of people attacking the U.S. It's coming like things like tax cuts. There's going to be stuff like Medicaid, SNAP tax, that's welfare, food stamps. In time for the check this out. There's a lot of Democrats that's basically saying that there's a lot of people that's going to lose due to this one big, beautiful bill. Check this out right now, you guys. We got to see what's going on.
Joining us now is Maryland Congressman Glenn Ivey. He's a former federal prosecutor and Maryland State's attorney. Congressman, I want to ask you first off what your reaction to Congresswoman Craig just said there about the legislation. Yes, it does lower taxes from some Americans, but it's also raising the health care costs for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's giving with one hand and taking away a lot more with the other hand. And, some of the tax cuts that they put in place for working class people are time sensitive. They expire in a couple of years, whereas the one for the wealthiest Americans are permanent. And there are other issues, too, like with respect to the taxes on tips. Those have to be paid in cash. And there's a $25,000, I think, income cap on that as well. So there's real gamesmanship going on there. And I think as the American people who thought they were going to get a real benefit out of this see what it's really going to be, I think they're going to be angry about this, just like they will about the Medicaid cuts and so many of the other attacks on the middle class in this bill.
Do you think Americans are going to start feeling that impact before the midterm elections, though? Because a lot of these have kind of a delayed effect to them. I know we're already seeing healthcare providers say they're going to start to initiate this because they kind of have to before it goes into place. But are you confident that voters are going to notice this change before they go to the polls?
I think it's critical for Democrats to make sure that we keep it on the radar screen for sure. You're already seeing the Trump administration scramble to try and reposition what these things are. And I think for the ones that phase in later, they'll try and blame it on the Democrats or Biden or something down the road. But we have to be very consistent and relentless, really, in making sure we keep explaining to the public what these impacts are on this bill and that the source of the bill is Donald Trump. who told them that he was going to help to make their lives better, put money in their pocket, whereas he's doing the exact opposite.
So now, even if you don't like what he's saying, look at the topics of what he's saying and then go research it to see if what he's saying is true, instead of saying, I don't like CNN, I don't like MSNBC, I don't like Fox. We over here at Our Bottom Line, we let the rabbit stick his head out the hole, boom, before we blow it off. You can't let them know that you're hunting for them. You can't let them know that you're out there waiting. So you got to be like this, shh, be very, very quiet. I'm trying to catch a rabbit. Is that a rabbit? And then when he stick his head out, boom, because you don't want to be like Elmer Fudd. Don't worry about the network or the host. Think about the information, you guys. Do me a favor right now, double tap that screen. Let's get those likes up to let more people know that we're over here, because I got to ask you guys a question. If Elon Musk does decide to start a new party, would you switch parties, depending on what it's based on? That's my question. I'm going to come to the comments after we play this clip. Let's keep on moving forward. Good morning. Good favorite day of the week for me. Good favorite day, Monday morning, because everybody got to get up and answer that phone.
On the heels of President Trump signing his massive domestic policy bill into law, his former close ally, Elon Musk, announcing the formation of a new political party. Musk, the world's richest person, taking to his social media site X to say, "We live in a one-party system, not a democracy. Today, the America Party is formed to give you back your freedom." Musk, who is President Trump's top campaign donor, has been feuding with the president over the so-called One Big Beautiful Bill, which the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office says will add more than $3 trillion to the national debt over the next 10 years. Musk has referred to the legislation as a debt slavery bill and had been teasing a new political party for days. The Tesla CEO did not respond to questions from NBC News seeking clarity about today's announcement.
The stock market's at an all-time high.
For his part, President Trump has been celebrating the bill. The legislation extends the tax cuts from his first term, reduces taxes on tips and overtime pay, and provides funds for his immigration priorities.
Okay, I gotta answer. I gotta let you guys answer. 3 deals in 90 days. Jonathan said, "Hell no, Trump all day, every day." Sal 70 said, "I voted for Trump, not Musk." Clement says, Pastor News of Joe LeBlanc says, "Put words in the richest person against the poorest persons in the world." We've got Grand Rising of Fam. Thank you so much. It's still Kenaya. Gregory says, "I don't think that I would agree with much coming from a billionaire's party." Elon, Elon has lost it. Needs to stay off the mushrooms. What's up, everybody? Let's keep on going here.
It also makes some of the biggest cuts in history to social safety net programs like Medicaid and food assistance. In Missouri, Kimberly Gallagher is worried about how the bill's new work requirements could affect her and her son's access to Medicaid. Her son Daniel has a rare genetic disorder and autism, and she is his primary caregiver.
Medicaid is in every facet of our life. It's not just medical, it's financial, it's care. And to lose any of those parts would drastically change our lives.
Yamiche is traveling with the president tonight.
I wanted you guys to see that, because someone like that, family like that, yes, we understand. But when I read those comments, you guys be like, okay, we're going to let them get Medicaid, but not the illegal immigrants. I already know how y'all get down. What y'all got? What's up, Casey? Good morning, HOBL fam. We got Nitro up in here. The stock market is at the all-time high. This guy have to be high like his followers. Let's keep on going, y'all. DHS halts migrant flights to California over sanctuary city policies. What do you guys think about that? Is that a strategic move by the Trump administration? If anything, I think that people are playing tit for tat. Well, we got some real smart people out here that's doing a lot of things to get their agendas through. It's like, okay, you stop me on that side, I'm gonna go this way. It's like a real game of chess right now, and I can't. And it's exciting to see from the viewpoint that I have out here. It's very exciting to see this going on right here. So let's go over here and see why DHS is halting these flights to California.
DHS officials say they will no longer return migrants facing prosecution to California. Borders Czar Tom Homan cites the state's no-bail policies and refusal to honor ICE detainers as the reason for the change. Senior national correspondent William Lajeunesse is live from Los Angeles. Good morning, William.
Hey, good morning, Mike. So if you're ICE or the Border Patrol, and you have reason to believe that the criminal alien that you have just detained will never see the inside of a courtroom, why would you give him back to a city or a system that could not hold him in the first place?
There's a lot of criminals and a lot of illegal aliens here in the City of Angels, and we're going to be here till the mission gets done.
Chief Greg Bovino leads a task force of 100 Border Patrol agents in Los Angeles. His team recently picked up a Chinese national who was not only in the country illegally, but also wanted in LA for assault with a deadly weapon. Normally, he'd be handed over to local officials for prosecution. But Bovino posted on X, that's no longer happening. Quote, due to sanctuary policies in California, we aren't turning him over to local authorities because, as we've seen many times, this criminal illegal alien will be released back into the country.
We're seeing a lot of bad actors, bad apples, criminals, and things like that. So rather than put them right back out on the street to harm agents, to harm our citizens, let's just get them out of the country.
Another Bovino post refers to this Salvadoran national wanted for auto theft. Rather than trust LA to prosecute, he's been deported.
If they don't have faith that we can do our job, I would say they should have that faith.
LADA Nathan Hochman insists his office does prosecute.
And once they've served their jail or state prison time, they'll be turned immediately over to the federal officials. With the warrant, it's automatic.
The problem is lesser felonies often don't make it to trial, and given many cities' no bail policies and refusal to honor ICE detainers, some suspects simply disappear.
If someone wants someone back in custody to prosecute them, they need to do a writ guaranteeing us that when they're done, they'll get back to us.
So the exception, Mike, is an exceptionally violent crime or a murder case. The agencies will contact the local prosecutor or police department. But for garden variety crimes, they're going to be deported first. Back to you.
Y'all hear what that means? That means that no more California. And it seems like they're going to follow this up with all sanctuary cities. What do you guys think about this? People act like it's not done in other countries, says Liberty and Justice. We've also got Young Wolf that says, LOL, seriously, LJ. Oh, what else we got up in here? We got, let's just go to those glove people. Let's go to the people with the gloves. Come on, gloves. Let's get y'all comments up in here. Dustin says, rich going to get richer. Good point, Liberty and Justice. Okay, we're going to keep on moving, y'all. Let's go, because I told y'all, got a lot more in the clip, and we gotta keep on going. I told you guys that Trump says he's about to raise tariffs as high as 70%, starting at 10 and ranging, like we have here on the title, ranging up to 70%. So let's hear it from the horse's mouth, basically, because we always want to know what's going on with these tariffs, because it does affect us most of the time. So yeah, we want to know whatever's going to affect us. Let's get into it.
Go out tomorrow, and over the next few days, I think by the 9th they'll be fully covered, and they'll range in value from maybe 60 or 70% tariffs to 10 and 20% tariffs. But they're going to be starting to go out sometime tomorrow. We've done the final form, and it's basically going to explain what the countries are going to be paying in tariffs. And it's very important. It's a lot of money for the country, but we're giving them a bargain. Because if I went by the true deficits or by other ways of measuring, it could be a lot more. We don't want to. I don't want to stretch it too much. We want to keep it pretty reasonable.
U.S. President.
All right, y'all. Yes, y'all already heard it again. Even if it's a small clip that I can get, you guys just heard it from the horse's mouth. What do y'all think about the tariffs that's coming? What do y'all think about it? Nah, this happened because Elon called the day in the bill, nothing more, nothing less. Hey, that is creepy. I was born in '70, says Sean. Elon is just a big baby throwing a tantrum, says Happy Mellow. Thank you for staying on topic. Trump increasing tariffs is stupid, says, who's that? Roblox, Yober? Okay, it's stupid. Okay, I get what you're saying. Now, I told you guys, we got so much to go, but if you guys appreciate the content, the way that we stacking it, make sure that we're covering every single aspect of it, do your boy a favor and double tap that screen to get those likes up. That lets much more people know that we're over here, and also do me a favor, subscribe to the channel if you like the content. and become a member. Turn on post notifications by hitting that little bell down there, and that lets you know when we're on. Now we're gonna keep on going forward because now we got to go over to Buckeye, where we out of politics for a little bit. Let's go on over to Buckeye because we got this video that shows this powwowing during a large gathering happening. And yes, a lot of things happened over this weekend. This was 4th of July. We had a lot of fireworks. We had ridiculous amounts of fireworks in different places, and the police basically couldn't control it. But luckily, there's not too much negativity that happened.
Moments as shots ring out at a shopping center overnight. It's a massive crime scene spanning several blocks. Victims rushed to the hospital by both EMS and private cars. We're getting a clear picture tonight of exactly what went down. New tonight, the surveillance video showing the chaos and panic as people run for their lives. Good evening, I'm Caitlin McCarthy, but first, here's what we know so far. Cleveland police say they got calls and shot spotter alerts for gunfire near East 115th and Buckeye around 4:15 a.m. When officers got there, cars were speeding away and a crowd of people was milling around in the shopping plaza. EMS took 4 victims to university hospitals, ranging in age from 17 to 25, 3 in critical condition, 1 stable. Police found a 22-year-old man in a crashed car nearby who had been shot to death. 5 other shooting victims showed up at the hospital in private cars. Detectives found shell casings all over the scene, along with 2 guns in nearby bushes and more guns inside a car at the hospital. Nearby security cameras caught the horrific scene on tape. Aria Janelle walks us through this stunning video.
The video starts around 2 a.m. Saturday. You can see people slowly arriving into the parking lot of Simon's Supermarket on Buckeye Road. A few cars are already doing donuts in the parking lot. The video shows at least 100 people arriving over the next hour. That's when more cars are seen doing donuts in that parking lot as people record on their phones and throw cups and liquor bottles on the ground. At one point, several fireworks are even set off. Then things start to take a turn when shots go off around 4 a.m. You can see everyone start to quickly drive away, people hiding behind cars, and people running the opposite direction. 2 cars are even seen crashing into each other. A few moments later, one man is shown in the bottom left corner pulling out what looks like a gun and hiding behind a car. He then runs up to where the 2 cars that crashed are. Then the video is too dark and grainy to see what happens next. One of the managers here at Simon's Supermarket tells me this is not the first time that he's come to work and found these burned tire marks in the parking lot. He tells me he's concerned that this is going to keep customers from shopping here because they feel unsafe. He's hoping that police will find a solution to this soon.
Buckeye, now let's go on over to Columbus because we have a situation that happened with a juvenile. This juvenile is no longer with us, and there's 5 that have been injured after a pow at this Columbus short-term rental home. Yes, like I said, it was going down over the weekend. We might have to say a lot of prayers for this episode today. So yeah, let's get ready for it.
Tragedy on the 4th of July, gunfire breaking out overnight at a short-term rental, killing a juvenile and injuring 5 other people in Columbus. We're told 250 people were there for a party. It's good to have you with us tonight at 11. I'm Colin Dorsey. Yolanda has the night off. Well, this all happening just after 2:30 this morning on Wilson Avenue. That's on the city's south side. 10 TV's Carly Dion is digging into what we know about that case tonight. Carly?
Well, Colin, as of tonight, Columbus police are still trying to track down the person responsible for this shooting. But a man hired to work security for the party last night explained what went wrong.
It was a lot of folks in there, and everybody was having fun until the wrong crowd showed up, and everything just literally went left.
Earl Jones says he was hired to work security for a party at a home on Wilson Avenue Thursday night. He says he and 2 other guards had a thorough system of patting each person down before they entered the party. At one point, the host asked them to allow some people to enter without being checked.
We were instructed that certain people were allowed certain privileges of not having to go through the security process. They were just able to enter and leave at their own free will.
Later that night, the party took a turn just after 2:30 a.m.
All you could hear was chaos, gunshots everywhere. First we thought it was fireworks, but then when it was that close, we realized.
This video from a witness shows the chaos unfolding. Jones says shots were fired both inside and outside the home. He says he did all he could to help the victims.
Our help wasn't enough for one of the victims.
When police got to the scene, they found 3 victims with gunshot wounds. One of them, a juvenile, did not survive. 3 more people with gunshot wounds were also taken to nearby hospitals. The 5 who were injured are all expected to survive.
This is really a day of celebrating freedom, and now someone who was free lost their life. So young at that, he was so young, he just looked like a kid.
Jones says people with guns on them seem to be getting younger and younger.
We had a guy hide a gun in his hoodie to try to get through the security process, and I'm like, dude, you're like 18, how you even got this gun? And he's like, don't worry about it, and then he walked away.
He says he even caught teens with semi-automatic hand rifles and Glock switches on their guns.
The ones we caught, but the ones that got to avoid our process inevitably caused this night to go the way it did, and people lost their lives.
And police still have not been able to identify that juvenile who died. Anyone with additional information on the shooting is asked to contact the Columbus Police Homicide Unit or remain anonymous and submit a tip through Central Ohio Crime Stoppers.
Now, come on, if I was security, as soon as they would have walked over and said, oh, they can get in without being searched, I'm gonna be like this, all right, I'm out of here, peace. Matter of fact, give me my money, or probably I would have had it in the clause that you got to pay me first. You know what? I'm out of here. If you want to do that, because I'm not going to be able to secure this entire place if you're going to try to tell me that some people can get in without being searched, and those wind up being the people that got the pow, y'all. This is crazy. Very concerning. Exactly, Happy. Eva says, Wiley, exactly. Jonathan says, I like it, small town and 1,000 people, and everyone knows everybody every day. Everybody looks out for each other. I ain't mad at you, Jonathan. That sounds like something I'm with. Ohio's getting crazy, says Casey. Yeah, it is. It's been crazy out there, especially certain towns. It's not only New York, Chicago, and Miami, and the major cities. They get busy in Chicago. You know about Cleveland and all of that, and it's not a game. Now we got to go over to one of you guys' favorite people, somebody that you guys always ask me, please, Bugatti, anytime you get information about this person, you got to make sure that you give us as much as possible. I'm talking about your favorite person, none other than Jasmine Crockett. She gets left out. They say that she came into this conversation, and not a conversation, but into a meeting. She basically had a lot to say, and she kind of got laughed out of the session. So I hope that you guys that really like Jasmine Crockett, you guys can, hold your compassion, because she was really peed off after this situation happened here. And I know, like I said, many of you always ask me, what's going on with Jasmine? Let me see. I'm just playing with y'all, because I know y'all can't stand Jasmine Crockett.
The reason that people like me say things like y'all are in a cult is because somehow people are abdicating their duties and abdicating the very people that put them into office. But I got 30 seconds. They've allowed this administration to steal congressionally approved money for cancer research and food delivery to vulnerable communities. They've allowed Elon Musk to infiltrate your medical records and banking data. They've allowed this administration to ignore court rulings, and now Republicans are here patting themselves on the back, literally arguing to make this chaos permanent. So Americans are going to continue to live through chaos and destruction that has been occurring ever since he swore in January. And I hope y'all remember who caused this, because it wasn't
the gentlelady's time has expired.
Also the congressional Republicans.
The gentlelady's time has expired. I now recognize Mr. Burchett from Tennessee.
Thank you, Chair Lady. I would remind members of both sides of the aisle that President Trump's approval rating is soaring, and last I checked, congressional approval is not.
Okay, guys, let's keep on going, y'all. I apologize for all of the people that took that to heart and got angry just like Jasmine did when she left, because I know that the majority of you people really love her. Come on now. I hear you guys in the comments talking about she's brilliant, she's a phenomenal person. I see what you guys are talking about. I listen. I pay attention. What else you got over here? Ghetto rat. What else you got? Bill says ghetto fatigue. What else you got? You about to get blocked. Bleach blonde, butch body. Okay, well, she wasn't even playing. Okay, what else you got? You got laughing like crazy. I see you guys. She's embarrassing us. Where does he get these teeny suits at? Black, I get them from your brother, and he used to anyway. Young Wolf, Jasmine Crockett is a perfect example of American dream. Yeah, nude, rude people. Yeah, I see you guys are all in it, disrespectful. Let's go, y'all. Let's go. Yeah, let's keep on moving, y'all. Let's keep on moving. I got some other information for you guys that we got to get going on here. I can't even understand what this title is, so we're going to read this one together. I wrote it down like 4 times. Former most wanted man accused of trying to orchestrate killings from... Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, this fool right here is a supreme thunderon. I remember this one right here. This is a guy in Milwaukee. He just can't... Y'all remember that in Life? There was one guy that was on the baseball team, and they call him Can't Get Right, but he had a talent. This fool here don't got no talent. He just can't get right. Every time he get in trouble, he just get himself in deeper. He tried to pow somebody. Matter of fact, he did. And then he tried to set up the other people that know about it so that he can get out. And then all of a sudden, he was just saying, hey, you know what? She know about me. She don't like me. Get rid of her too. Matter of fact, let me let them tell it about what really went on with this fool right here in Milwaukee. Milwaukee, come to the front of the stage, please.
Quite frankly, the court does not get many cases like this. I'm not going to say it's the first one, but I can definitely count maybe not more than 2.
Milwaukee man who was once featured on Wisconsin's Most Wanted was already in jail, charged with homicide. He is now accused of trying to orchestrate the killing of someone involved in that case. Today he returned to court in tears, and as Durante Matthews explains, the court wasn't buying it.
State of Wisconsin versus DeAndre Williams.
That's a phrase DeAndre Williams has heard a few times. Saturday, the 22-year-old found himself back in a...
He must have had a rough life. Boy, your lips look like some car tires. 22 years old looking like that? Man, you had it rough. I don't know what your life was like, but Lord have mercy.
Milwaukee County courtroom. They first charged him in 2024 with reckless homicide, to which he pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. Police say he killed a man outside of a liquor store. In February, Fox 6 profiled the crime in a Most Wanted piece.
Mr. Williams shot the victim at point-blank range with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun.
Fast forward to Saturday, prosecutors say Williams tried to get rid of the witnesses in that case. Court records show last month he asked a cellmate to kill them, saying no face, no case. Investigators say Williams gave a cellmate he's known for about 10 years a list of people, some including addresses. Prosecutors say he thought that cellmate would be getting out of jail soon. Court Commissioner Barry...
I'm glad we caught it right there, because P. Worm says, I said the same thing. He looked like he 37. Shaylin Blur says, I thought the same thing. That man looks rough. Lord have mercy. Look like some car tires, man. Even when you moisturize. Come on, man, stop smoking or whatever you're doing. Look like he hook up his lips to a car exhaust or something.
Phillips noted some people on that list were not even witnesses, but rather people who knew Williams's character.
You allegedly told your cellmate, she knows how I get down. So slide on her and shut her up too.
Wow.
Now that's some devious stuff right there.
Court records show the cellmate reported that info to an attorney, landing Williams back in court where he sat shaking and crying Saturday.
I think it's ironic that you've been in court the whole time crying, because when I read the allegations against you, it's not allegations of someone that cries.
Investigators say the list was 10 names long.
But you're in court crying. Too late for that.
Ain't gonna work, buddy. Uncover your face and man up is what he's trying to say. And yeah, you should have thought about that before you tried to order them Jill's nail hits. Yeah, Jill's jail hits. He tried to order some jail hits. Who you think you are? Ron O'Neal or somebody out here? Talk about you can order somebody to do something? Do me a favor, you guys, double tap that screen. Also, we're trying to get our numbers up to at least 100,000 subscribers. The 100,000 subscribers, we might be giving you a PlayStation 5 or $500. I'm thinking about it now. Might put that up in the header. Trying to get up to 100,000, and we're willing to pay to do it. Let's keep on going to Waterville. A maintenance worker is accused of R-wording a woman while her child was nearby in the house. Certain people, I just say, shh. No. Don't say nothing. Just bring them over here. Just bring them over here and let the real men deal with them. How about we let the community deal with people like this and the cops just say, you know what, y'all got this. Like when the cop came up to John Wick's house and says, John, you working again? And he said, yeah. He said, okay, you have a good night. That's what we need to happen when it comes down to justice, when it comes down to the certain things that certain ones of these criminals do, especially the ones that have something to do with children involved.
A horrific case in Waterville tonight. Police say a maintenance worker at an apartment building went into one of those apartments and raped a woman with her young child close by. Police tell us 47-year-old Muhammad Ansar was at the apartment building to carry out scheduled repairs last Thursday, June 26th, in the middle of the afternoon. And while there, police say Ansar let himself into one of the apartments and raped the woman inside. The woman told police she could not fight back because her 2-year-old child was home with her.
When she called 911 after the incident, the only thing she could speak was, in English, was help me. There's no excuse. There's absolutely, it's pitiful. It's disgusting.
Muhammad Ansar here faces charges of first-degree rape, second-degree burglary, and endangering the welfare of a child. He is in the Albany County Jail tonight.
Don't even want to, because I know how I get. I will be all extra, probably get kicked off because of the stuff that I'm going to say, my emotions and all of that. But real talk, boom, bap! And just a whole bunch of those right after that. Boom, 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 boom. Yo, Bugatti, chill. Hell with that. Shut up. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, but his face swollen up. So what? Trying to make him look like Thomas Hearns. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, stuff like that. Oh, you going to jail too? Okay, hell with it. I'll go too. Put me in the car. That's when I'll be doing a ride like this myself. Like, hey, y'all gonna bail me out? Because at that point, I don't know, man. I just don't know. In the house while the child was there too. Don't know how I can just hold my composure. Just wouldn't be able to do it, y'all. Y'all call me what y'all want. Might think I'm wrong. Y'all don't like to fight me neither. But certain things, just protecting certain people. I don't like bullies, and that was a major bully right there. Let yourself in somebody's house because you had the key. Or how about this? Y'all remember that scene in The Bronx Tale where Sonny said, okay, we were going to let you leave before. Click, click, click. Now you can't leave. How about that? What if her husband would have come home and said, you know what? You did what you did, but now you can't leave. Yeah. Now we're going to keep on moving forward, you guys. Yeah, look at that. You said it, Bill. I don't want to say it. You're right. You're right. You're right. There you go, Bill. You're right. I think you're right because he looked like one, and I ain't even going to say it myself. Everybody look at Bill's comment. That's what I think, too. St. Louis, come on. Because now we're going to hold parents accountable. And they said, and the sheriff is saying this after this 4th of July disorder, I think much more accountability should be placed on the parents of the children who are doing certain things. I guarantee you they'll get right. That's the problem. So many people on here are very smart. You know what you guys always say to me? If we take care of our own homes and our own children, we won't have to worry about a lot of this. A lot of people aren't taking care of their own homes and they're letting their kids run rampant and wild and do anything. So how about if we make the parents of these children now accountable for some of the stupid things that they're doing, carrying weapons and all of this crazy stuff. Where are they getting this stuff from? How are they getting it? Where are they getting the money from to do this stuff?
We heard from police following dozens of arrests in downtown. Officers say while things were mostly peaceful for the 4th of July holiday, police took about 60 people into custody, including dozens of juveniles. Their parents were also cited. Some of the charges involved guns and illegal fireworks. Police increased patrols for the holiday weekend after several years of lawlessness downtown.
Juveniles will come down. They'll come down with fireworks in groups, but we're not going to have that anymore. We're going to hold the guardians and the parents accountable to the individuals that are coming down that are being dropped off in large numbers. I'm saying hundreds.
Tonight and tomorrow, police say they will continue to have a strong presence downtown. And chaos erupted in some parts of
Nope, we got to keep on going. We got to keep on going because I got a lot in the clip, you guys. And you see what's happening, right? It's a lot of the juveniles, a lot of them not having the right type of direction that they're supposed to be in because of what the parents, let's call it for what it is. A lot of people don't want to do it. I'm just going to call it as I see it. A lot of times your kid does something stupid in McDonald's or at a store and one of us might see them get irate or dumb or whatever like that because you haven't taught them correctly how to deal with situations. And now we're going to say, oh, what if they only had one parent? What if they whatever? I ain't had that problem. My mother, you know how to took a belt to me and take care of me. You know my mother used to say to me, do not embarrass me in them streets. Do not embarrass me out there. I'm telling you straight up and down, because if I find out, I'm going to take you back to where you did it, and I'm going to whoop you in front of them people, and you're going to really be embarrassed. I mean, stop playing with me. I told you how my mother was. Don't play with me. She would whoop you in front of them. She come from the clan of, you get beat, you get a spanking in school. Then when you come home from school, you say, oh, they spanked me with the paddle. They say, what you got hit with the paddle for? Oh, they blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, come here. Bang, 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 bang. Then you catch another one. And then you tell your father once he come home from work, bang, 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 bang. You might get it again. Yeah, the community of bongers. Yeah, y'all remember, if y'all know what I'm talking about. The ones that know, y'all know. They got this thing now where, oh, if you hit me or you touch me, I'm calling the police. Or your parent wants to be your friend or your homie or whatever like that. Man, listen, my mother loved me and was my homie. But you don't think that she would have hit me with a broomstick if I did something stupid? Had me the nicest. Everybody was kung fu fighting. All this right here, ha, ha, ha. The blocking, that ain't come from no street. By the time I got to the street, I was good with my hands because of the way my mother dealt with me on discipline. Stop playing with me. No little kid can handle me because mama wasn't no joke. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. It's called discipline. Whooping for days, says Maritza. What you said, warned at Walmart, kids are having parties in vacant houses, destroying property. Keeping whooping, yeah, keep whooping that butt. I mean, tell the truth. How many of y'all caught it? How many of y'all know what this is? That right there, that sound, that crisp slap, like, you heard how this reflects off the wall no matter what you do? And that's that slap that you don't want when you go into the store with that mother. She be like, look here, we about to go in this store. If you touch something, if you ask for something, it's on. For real, for real. I'm talking about right at the threshold of Kmart, Walmart, Wallbounds, Red Apple. Yeah, I just told on myself, Red Apple. Yeah, Gristides, whatever the store was, she'd tell you at the threshold. And if you act up, and you let somebody walk up to you and say something like, oh, you shouldn't be touching the kid like that. She look like, you be next. Bitch, if you don't get away from me telling me how to discipline my kid, now we're going to keep on going on in St. Paul, Minneapolis over here. But we got these thieves that instantly regret stealing this veteran statue. Come on, you guys, because you know we about symbolism. We're about showing our love to all of our patriots. But these thieves right here, I think they regretted what they did and they feel pretty stupid, something that they did on Independence Day by stealing this veteran statue.
Well, this weekend, a video from Chisago County is making waves on social media. It shows a group of 3 young people allegedly disrespecting and stealing a statue of a veteran. Today, Fox 9's Babs Santos traveled north to talk to the statue's owner. He's now back in the newsroom with us, Babs.
The owner of that store told me today she plans to press charges against the people who took the statue, saying they also damaged her store in the process.
In Chisago County, many consider Stanchfield's Rush Point store to be a pillar in this rural community. So overnight, when a group of 3 was captured on camera around 3 a.m. appearing to steal a popular bronze statue of a veteran from the historic 1879 property.
Independence Day of all days.
Neighbors and customers were upset.
A lot of people were enraged. I mean, to do that to a veterans memorial.
The men captured on camera were not from the area.
They were here for about an hour, drinking and maybe using other things.
So they may not have known that the statue they were taking has a following. Handsome Jean, as locals call it, store owner Alyssa Oldenburg's cameras captured the heavy statue appearing to be kissed and slapped before loaded into the back of a car.
I just kind of shook my head, shrugged my shoulders, and rolled my eyes.
Saturday, Oldenburg posted her surveillance camera video on Facebook, and not long after, her phone rang. One of the people on camera, calling to apologize, asked her to take the video down and promised to return the statue.
He felt stupid.
When he returned, Chisago County Sheriff's deputies were waiting for him.
So he got arrested, the car got towed.
Then the day continued on, business as usual, only more people than normal stopping by to see and take photos with Handsome Gene.
So basically, they put it up on their Facebook page. It went viral. He called them up, please take that down. I'll bring it back. I will bring it back. They said, okay, great, bring it back. When he came and brought it back, got locked up and they let him out. Took the ride of shame like this, and then they towed his car because that's what you use in the conjunction of stealing that statue. Phenomenal. Thank you so much. He got what he deserved, right?
It's a relief. It's weight off my shoulders to have Handsome Gene back. He's a staple of the community, you know.
This afternoon, the Chisago County Sheriff's Office did get back to me, and they said one man is in custody for the crime of felony theft. They're working to locate the other two people seen in that video, but say they have a pretty good idea of who they are looking for.
And I don't know why you talk so damn low when you're doing something on TV in front of everybody and all of these people. You should try to get a little bit of energy going yourself, sir. Close that shirt and put a tie on. But it's not me to tell you what to do. Come on, man, liven up. Let's go, buddy. You're young, impressionable. Be somebody. Let's go here, man. Bobs, let's go, man. Next time I see you, hope you got more energy. Maybe if you see this here. But all that, sound like the little moose turtle. Nah, bro. Turn up. Use some of that energy, some of that youth. Let's go. We got to go over to Nassau County right now where we got these deputies that have been arrested for double dipping, y'all. Double dipping. See, that's what I'm saying. That's how you do it. You got to turn around. You got to be into what you're doing. You got to entertain. Are you entertained? You got to entertain people, buddy. Come on.
At 6, we are learning more about 6 Nassau County Sheriff's Office employees investigated and accused of double dipping on the job. 3 of them have been arrested and terminated after that investigation. Their names are Sergeant Brian Blackwell, Sergeant Wilfred Quick, and Deputy Henry Holmberg.
2 other employees have warrants out for their arrests and were also let go. A 6th employee has also been terminated and agreed to pay restitution. News4 Jack's reporter Khalil Maycock joining us now. And Khalil, these employees, they're accused of stealing tens of thousands of dollars.
The sheriff's office says about $14,000 was stolen from them and the taxpayers. And in addition to telling you more about this case, I was able to obtain a discipline record for one of the sergeants.
All right. I'm going to go with it. Who the hell is your stylist? On TV, cream. Oh, let me shut up. Just keep on going.
Arrested. An internal tip led to 3 arrests and 6 terminations of employees at the Nassau County Sheriff's Office. That tip saying certain Nassau County Sheriff's Office employees may be violating state law and agency policy by receiving pay from the Sheriff's Office while working an off-duty job. After a month-and-a-half investigation into the double-dipping claims, the Sheriff's Office sent out this news release saying those 6 employees stole over $14,000 from them and taxpayers. The names of those arrested include Deputy Henry Holmberg, Sergeant Brian Blackwell, and Sergeant Wilfred Quick. This was for felony and misdemeanor.
I guess Wilfred wasn't quick enough.
Theft charges and felony official misconduct charges. They, along with 2 other employees that arrest warrants have been issued for, are accused of submitting false timesheets for payments to NCSO. This while also being paid by a private employer while working off duty. The Sheriff's Office says this is against policy. Another person involved is Deputy Michael Brandon. He's accused of submitting time on his timesheets when he was home and not working.
Lord.
Now, repayment to the Sheriff's Office and the taxpayers of Nassau County is included within his disposition. If he fails to do this, he'll be formally charged.
Oh, so they're going to let him get a chance to pay it back to the Sheriff's Office and the taxpayers that's required. If it's not done, he's going to be formally charged, which also means, you know what? Guarantee he's going to keep his job. You already doing some shaky stuff on one side, and we're going to let you stay. How about this? You can pay the money back. Now you're fired, and now we're going to take your pension because we don't know what else you was doing. I don't believe in that, oh, pay us back and stay working. Now I got to be like this or watching you or not. I don't think so. Let's get over to Philadelphia because it's funky, funky, funky. Funky, especially since the fact that they've come to no deal. They have reached absolutely no deal on day 5 of this District Council 33. The workers and the unions are striking in Philadelphia, and that means all of that garbage that we've been looking at all week is piling up and still going on. They're coming in with those trucks and trying to pull some of those dumpsters out of there, but at this point, there's no resolution.
It's been 5 days since trash collectors and thousands of other city workers from District Council
Council 33 walked off the job, and after today's negotiations, it's still not clear whether we're any closer to a resolution. Our Ray Strickland has the latest.
After hours of negotiating, union members and city officials once again walked away from the bargaining table without a deal. Meanwhile, trash continues to create a big mess across the city. Large piles of it can be seen along Market Street near 54th.
And it's so bad out here, I don't know what to do.
Andre Morgan drove several blocks to drop off his trash here. He says the situation is starting to get out of control.
Just riding down the street, the smells,
Zimbabwe
and you know,
in
and the
the
weather's
building.
next week coming, it's going to be so hot out, you know, so it's going to really be crazy.
The union and the city say they are committed to get a deal done, but both sides have been at odds over pay for DC 33 members. Mayor Sherelle Parker has maintained the city is offering the union the best.
Somebody said they can let go all of the sheriffs and deputize all of the housekeepers. Y'all are hilarious.
Deal in Philadelphia's history, a 13% raise over 4 years. At last check, the union was asking for 20% over that same period. Late Saturday, DC 33 President Greg Bower had no comment, but earlier in the day, he told us as he was walking in to start negotiations that he was optimistic.
Hopefully we make some progressive movement from where we've been, so that's what I'm getting ready to go try to do right now.
Saturday night, Joe Grace, the mayor's communications director, told us, quote, "We're working around the clock to get a fair and fiscally responsible contract for the workers and the city." Meantime, residents like Morgan are growing concerned about how much longer this can go on. With each passing day, he says the trash problem is only getting worse.
Yeah, we are used to walking to the front of our building or downstairs and throwing the trash out. It sucks that you got to get in your car. Normally, you don't even want to throw the garbage out. You know how it is, fellas. You're watching the game or whatever like that. Your wife comes, go throw the garbage out. Oh, my God. Take the garbage and you take it to the pail and you throw it out or whatever, or drag it to the front of the house, right? Now you got to put it in your car if you live in Philly and drive it somewhere, some funky trash. I don't think I would be cool with that, you guys. I have no idea how they're dealing with this for this long and how they're tolerating something like that. But yeah, that's what's going on in Philadelphia, and it's really bad. They said LL Cool J has basically said he's canceled his show that he was supposed to do out there, and he's in 100% support of all of the workers and says that he's behind them. We got to go over to Mexico right now because we got the president of Mexico who says that she wants to make sure that the deported boxer Julio Chavez Jr, who we showed you guys yesterday, that was arrested because he overstayed his visa after losing to Jake Paul. Yeah, she hopes that he serves time in Mexico. She wants to make sure because they have charges that they have pressed against him as well.
Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum says boxer Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. could serve time on weapons and drug trafficking charges in Mexico after he is deported from the U.S. Chavez was arrested by ICE yesterday in Studio City, days after fighting Jake Paul in a highly publicized match in Anaheim. The Department of Homeland Security says Chavez overstayed his visa and lied on a green card application. U.S. officials also believe he has ties to the Sinaloa cartel. Mexico's Attorney General says Chavez is wanted on weapons and drug trafficking charges. Chavez's attorney has called the allegations outrageous.
Do you guys remember that? Do you guys remember that guy that was being sentenced or at court and he was like getting irate? He got angry at the judge and he ran at her and dove across her podium in order to get at her. Didn't even know that he actually really did reach her, and he actually put his hands on her, and a couple of other people got hurt during that time. This happened in Las Vegas. Well, now that same man has been sentenced to decades in prison for what he did, and the judge did it for a reason. Did it for a reason, try to show strength in the judicial system so that no other person would ever do anything like this. Check this out. I want you guys to see this. It's a pretty in-depth situation here. You guys do me a favor. If y'all appreciate the content, let's double tap that screen to get those likes up. We got to go on over to Vegas. Vegas, step to the front, please.
I'm not a bad person. I'm not an evil person. 31-year-old Dioba Redden pleads for leniency before a judge sentences him for this. An attack on District Court Judge Mary Kay Holthus as she sentenced him in January on a charge of attempted battery. Redden running up and jumping over Holthus's bench.
I'm not making excuses for my actions. I'm saying I'm not a bad person. And I know that I did not intend to kill Mary Kay Holthus. I know I cared about her well-being.
Holthus and a courtroom marshal both injured in the attack, leading prosecutors to charge Redden with attempted murder. During trial in September, Redden agreed to plead guilty, with the stipulation he's mentally ill.
I saw nothing but red, and I don't remember doing anything except for jumping on top of her and doing this to her robe. I was like, why are you doing this to me? That's what I wanted to ask her, if I think I know myself, but I'm not really sure.
He made a conscious decision to kill me and made every effort to succeed. If he had his way, he'd be facing a sentence of life without the possibility of parole for murder.
Prosecutors reading a statement from Holthus during Tuesday's sentencing, Redden crying as his attorney explained his client's years-long battle with schizophrenia.
This is a person that can and would be able to do it, given the appropriate help from a psychologist and mental health counselor.
As she handed down her 26 to 65-year sentence, the judge in this case saying this attack was one on all judges.
I tell you one thing, he picked the wrong profession. That motherfucker would have been a football player or a basketball player. Do you see the height that he caught in order to jump over that? I know we're not talking about that, but the height that thunder caught, that was that cuckoo height right there, boy. I'm talking about sprinters. He would have murdered it in the long jump. He would have been in the air longer than Jordan, like, oh, what are you talking about, fool? He would have been up like, y'all talk about Air Jordan? Man, listen, he's Flight of the Navigator right here. This dude can jump.
It was not just retaliation for an attack on Judge Holthus. It was also an attack on the judiciary.
With credit for time served, Redden will be eligible for parole in the 2050s. He'd be in his mid-50s by then. I'm David Charnes, 8 News Now.
Yeah, he's gonna be in his mid-50s by the time he get out. So yeah, that's what happened, you guys. I hear a lot of people in the comments say, yeah, I remember this, wondered what happened about it. Well, now you guys know. And again, if you appreciate the fact that we go searching for content like this to try to be exclusive, even though people always say, you can go look for that stuff yourself. No, you can't, because then you won't have the community and the place where you can have the comments and talk about it and have a great session about it. Also, let's go on over to LA. I think that's where he's from, where he's at, if I'm not mistaken. If you guys do know where Macaulay Culkin lives at, let me know, because basically he slams his dad and he says he's the worst person and he hasn't spoken to him for over 30 years. That's right, you guys. Macaulay Culkin, Home Alone. I didn't even know that he didn't have a great relationship with his dad, but a lot of celebrity children don't. And he says he feels like his dad is jealous of him, and that's probably why everything happened this way it did.
A big headline, Macaulay Culkin going scorched earth on his dad Kit amid a decades-long estrangement.
Oh, I haven't spoken to him in 30-something years. Oh, he deserves it, too. Yeah. You know, he's a man who had 7 kids, and now he has 4 grandkids, and none of them want anything to do with him. He's the worst person I've ever known in my entire life. A lot of times when I was on the road doing things, it was just me and him. So I was kind of locked in a room with a crazy person. I really took the brunt of it for the family, but they got their licks too.
Speaking on the Sibling Revelry podcast, the now 44-year-old Home Alone star detailed his parents' breakup and bitter custody battle.
And I go, okay, how about I dare the judge to put me in jail for not wanting to visit his abusive father. I double dare him to arrest the most famous kid in the world.
My younger brother, Kieran.
E.T.'s been with the Culkin brothers since they were kids. And while Kit denies any abuse allegations, Kieran made this onstage dig at his dad at the 2024 Golden Globes.
I have no idea how my mom did it. She raised us in basically a studio apartment. You don't hear me thanking my dad.
Your dad's an actor, right? So he used to be an actor. Oh, I see.
I instantly booked all these things like that. I think he resented me for that kind of stuff. I think he kind of hated me a little bit for that. So I think that's why he kind of was a little bit harsh with me.
Back in 1997, Mac actually wiped both parents from his estimated $20 million trust fund. Today, he is retired and shares 2 kids with fiancée Brenda Song. He says Kit taught him what not to do as a father.
At the end of the day, I was like, I'm going to win, and here I am.
Sharing this moment with your 2 boys, what does that mean to you?
That's the whole reason.
It's the reason to do this. It's the reason pretty much to do anything now.
As for Kourtney Kardashian's 10-year-old son, Rain, he's shutting down a wild rumor about his father.
Bro, I swear, Justin Bieber's not my dad. Think about this.
I think I might have gotten in trouble for that. They basically trying to say Kourtney Kardashian's son is Justin Bieber's baby boy. I hope I didn't get in trouble for that. If so, I might have to go in and edit that. But we was getting into it. We had to let it keep going. That's how we do over here, our bottom line. I want to say one thing, though. As far as Macaulay Culkin goes, I am a Home Alone fan ever since I saw it the first time. Home Alone 2, I don't know about all of that or whatever like that, but check this out. I still feel, from the way he looks and from the way his children looks, I would love to see another Home Alone with him as the father and with his children or something like playing it. That would be dope. I think that would be great because he still looks like himself, and I also feel like the possibility of the family and the children have probably helped him out. Where we see a lot of these children actors, they don't get too far. I see that the structure of his life looks very good, even though we all go through a lot. He looks healthy, his family looks good, and that's all that matters. That's all that matters, you guys. That was hilarious. Stop acting silly. Somebody says, oops, what else she got? That would be cool, right? You see another Home Alone with him and his kids or something like that because he looks just like he did when he was a kid. Check this out. We got to go over to New Mexico now because we got these 5 juveniles that's been charged in connection of. It's always the ups and the downs. So I got to bring you guys down right now, and I'm sorry about it. These fools were charged with the beating of a pregnant woman and the family in Santa Fe. Want you guys to see this right here. Yes, we got to keep on moving forward. Do your boy a favor. Double tap that screen to get those likes up to let us know that you appreciate the content that you guys are seeing. Let's go.
It is a shocking crime made even more shocking by who police say is behind it. Santa Fe police arrest a group of teens for beating up a pregnant woman. News 13's Annalisa Pardo talked with police about what happened.
A trip to Burger King ending in violence and injury for Santa Fe family. Santa Fe police say on Wednesday morning, a group of 5 minors, ages 12 to 16, came into the Burger King and started causing trouble, one even pulling down his pants.
By initial appearances, looks like they were possibly under the influence of something.
After a father asked him to stop, one of the minors threw a cup of ice at him. Police say the pregnant mother then said something to the teens when 3 of them started kicking and beating her up before taking off and possibly dumping a gun that was on them nearby.
The youth is getting violent a lot younger now. We used to see this maybe with older kids closer to 17, but now it's a lot younger. We're seeing a lot of juvenile crime, starting when they're 11, 12 years old.
The pregnant mother was taken to the hospital with an eye injury, but the lasting impact could be worse.
Maybe not the physical scars, but the emotional scars are probably pretty bad.
The group of 5 teens are now facing a list of charges, and 3 of them are already known to police, with a history of charges ranging from aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, to drugs and stealing cars, to making bomb threats on school grounds.
Okay, Santa Fe with the teens, right? That was Santa Fe. Now we gotta go to Houston with the teens, because these teens right here in Houston, they showing their butts too. They acting up just as worse as these last ones was right here. These ones here got charged with SA after they lured some kids on Snapchat to some park. Yes, SA. I'm going to let them say it because I know that circle will start going around and it'll shut me down if I say it. But when they say it, they can get it off.
I had a cautionary tale about the potential dangers of social media. In Montgomery County, accused of luring 2 teens on and sexually assaulting them.
Yeah, this case prompting officials and experts to warn parents about their children's social media use.
Victor Hokopo is live in New Caney tonight, where investigators say those girls were attacked. Victor?
Yeah, we learned from the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office that this whole incident started online. We had read in court documents that we got in a day today that the conversation between the alleged suspects and the victims was on Snapchat. Eventually, that led to this parking lot behind me here outside New Caney ISD's Randall Reed Football Stadium, where authorities say this incident allegedly happened. The Montgomery County Sheriff's Office says earlier that 18-year-old Darvell Reginald Allen and 20-year-old Abdul Salim, both of Kingwood, used Snapchat to talk with 2 15-year-olds, ultimately picking them up from their home and taking them to this parking lot. It was here, the sheriff's office says, where the men showed a gun and then sexually assaulted the teens in a vehicle. And the 2 men were arrested and charged with aggravated sexual assault of a child.
It's important to bring these stories to teens.
Rania Mancarios is the CEO of Crime Stoppers of Houston. She says incidents like this one are tragic, but they do highlight the importance of speaking with children about safe internet use.
I think it's important to tell kids about it because everybody's like, oh, Snapchat this, Snapchat that, or this app that, this app this, right? When you heard about an app, if there's something that's like, let's say if you're a kid, you know, we all got our emotions going crazy. We all want to, you know, whatever, bang, bang, like crazy or whatever the case may be, right? So we hear something like that actually is going on a website. Oh, you can get a girl over there. You can get a boy over there. Get boyfriends or whatever like that, whatever, right? But then when you start to hear the other part of it, teens aren't stupid. They're smart too. That's why it is smart and why it is good for teens to know about the ramifications, the good and the bad, which go along with apps and everything, because they're smart enough to understand what can happen if they get tied up in it.
Teaching that should start early, as young as 5 or 6 years old, and often to help make tough discussions more comfortable.
It's important to start talking to young users about technology and digital connections in a very benign way, because you're also going to need to have very serious and real conversations.
Mancarios says parents should emphasize that unknown contacts online should not be considered friends, even if there's been digital communication for extended periods of time.
When strangers or adults approach a child and say, hey, meet me in this location, that is a huge red flag.
Equipping kids with education about safe internet use, Mancarios says, builds healthy instincts. So
yes, healthy instincts, and stop with that fear-mongering crap, because in the 70s, we didn't even know what the HNIC that meant. Stop with all these little lame words. Let's make our kids strong and be able to get out of situations. Mad Hatter says, thank you for playing these clips. They don't get the airtime in local channels, and my mother lives in Yonkers. There was not aware of the nonsense crimes and laws that are taking place in New York City. I'm sure others agree. Thank you, bro. And I appreciate you, Hatter, for always staying on point and for the 1999 Super Chat. Everybody, say thank you to the Mad Hatter for always looking out and always being on point and having that glove. We love people that got that glove. Thank you so much. Casey, that's right, Mad. It's still Kenya says, Mad Hatter, thank you so much. Young world, keep on moving. All right, let's get the rest of this out.
Children can make the right decisions when parents are not there to intervene.
And the greatest gift you can give a predator is an uninformed child. So we don't want to set our kids up for failure.
Right.
Now, tonight, it is still not clear, even with those court documents, just how long the alleged victims and the suspects were communicating on Snapchat or other social media platforms prior to this incident, and what the exact direct link is for this stadium, other than this is where it happened. But I did reach out to New Caney ISD. They told me in a statement that they are aware of the investigation and that they are fully cooperating with the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office, but aren't commenting any further as it is ongoing. Now, Crime Stoppers of Houston has lots of resources for parents to be able to begin this conversation with their kids. We have a link to that on our website under this story. Now reporting live in New Caney, Victor Jacobo, KHOU 11 News.
Y'all gotta let them know what's up, man. There's too many predators, and especially on those apps, because that's what they go there for. I would recommend that you probably find an 18-year-old or 19-year-old and you ask them to spill the beans. Do me a favor, can you tell me what's going on with these apps? What's going on? What are the ones that the guys go to date on? What's the one for this? Get the older kids to explain to you. You'll be like, what? They go to that app to do this? They go to that app to do what? Yeah, you got to get informed, people. We got to get informed. Go behind the scenes. Be a detective if you're a parent. That's right. Do what you got to do. Spend a little $20. Walk up to some 18-year-old and say, hey, I give you $20 if I can ask you all a couple of questions. Have your questions lined up. Let them go get some snacks off of that. This way you learn exactly from them. They're like, oh, for real? You really want to know? They'll love to tell you after that. They'll tell you everything. You have to record it on your phone after a while. And then you go to your kids like, hey, look what they're telling me is going on here. This is what I want you guys to pay attention to. Straight up and down, you got to put some fat on your brain in order to be able to maintain. That's right. Now we're going to go over to Miami where we got this man that's been arrested for firing shots, following a vehicle in North Miami. Y'all already know how Florida is. Florida, y'all never fail us. come on to the front of the stage because you know how y'all get down. Anytime we want to find some content that's action-packed or got something going on left, yeah, you know what we got to do. Go on over to Florida and do your thing, right like this. Let's go.
Following for hours on this morning after the 4th. Now to a developing story that we've been following for hours on this morning. After the 4th of July, a massive police presence on I-95 in North Miami. It left drivers with a headache overnight for a crash. And now we've learned shots were fired.
The scene has since cleared, but the investigation is just now starting this morning. Local 10's Lenny Supal is live with new details just into our newsroom. Lenny, what are you learning?
It was a terrifying night for so many drivers and their families as they were wrapping up their 4th of July celebrations. We just got an update from Florida Highway Patrol a short time ago. They say 5 cars collided on I-95 right around midnight, including a Jaguar SUV. But then troopers say the driver of that SUV pulled out a gun and started shooting. We captured this video of the crash. You see the row of mangled cars pressed along the northbound side of 95. This is right by Northwest 125th Street. Emergency crews raced to the scene, along with troopers who say they quickly arrested the alleged shooter. But 4 hours later, crews were still on site clearing debris and shattered glass from the highway as tow trucks pulled away from the scene. Officials say that the alleged shooter was taken to Jack's Memorial, but once they're released, they'll be taken directly to jail. As for the other people involved in the crash, everyone expected to be okay. However, the investigation's still underway.
Now, just like Jadakiss says, gangsters don't die, they get fat and move to Miami. Everybody's thinking the same way. There's a lot of people that says, you know what? I even said it myself. I went to Miami for vacation. I love the palm trees. I love the weather. But then you realize you're not the only one that's thinking this way. Everybody wants to move to Miami. How many people here would love to enjoy the weather and all of that? I mean, there's a lot of craziness that goes on, but you can't take away from the beaches, the sun and everything. I mean, it's a beautiful place to live. But what are they saying about people that actually are trying to move to Miami right now, as far as like how many people, what's going on with it, the amount of people that are there? Let's get a little bit updated on that.
Francis Suarez joins.
We're not the only ones thinking about moving to Miami, people.
Us now. Great to have you here, Mayor. Can the city of Miami handle those that may flee New York City? You got room for them?
Well, listen, our city has grown 150% in the last 10 years. Wow. And I think we certainly experienced a post-COVID boom of New Yorkers who came, fleeing COVID policies and coming to an area that was freer and, obviously a tax haven from their perspective after the SALT deduction went away. And so I think what we're going to potentially see is another wave. The city has the ability to grow 10 times larger, the city of Miami, than what it is from today's standards. But of course, it puts a lot of pressure on us. It puts pressures in the short term on prices, right? When demand goes up, prices obviously go up. It puts pressure on our infrastructure, on things like traffic, right? When we have big events in particular, our Basel, we have Formula One, we have all these major events throughout the year. It puts a lot of stress on traffic. And then, of course, you always worry, when people are coming from blue states, are they going to vote blue or are they going to vote red? So far, so good, right? We changed Miami-Dade County from blue to red, and we changed Florida from blue to red. So far, the people that have come here, that are migrants, if you will, of other high tax, high crime, high homeless cities have been voting Republican. And so
everybody, I thought about it. I know a lot of people in the comments have thought about it. Where do you guys want to retire to when you do retire? Is it Miami? Why? The weather, the comfort. Or even if it's not Miami, I know a lot of people that's going to Phoenix. They're going to places like, what's that place out in Phoenix? I forgot exactly. It's a couple of places out there. It's because they want to retire and have somewhere that they can be comfortable at and enjoy the weather and not have to deal with the transitions of the snow like New York. Oh my God. Or the wind of Chicago. Y'all know what I'm talking about. How many of you guys really thought about moving to Miami? I know I did many times. Texas open carry, Chad, and says TDS just for the research of many clowns. No to Miami. Sedona. There you go, Sedona. That's right. A lot of older people go to Sedona because of tranquility and because of all of those spas and stuff. Y'all are on point. You know, I used to live in Phoenix, right? I used to live in Phoenix, so I know about a lot going on out there. I also know that they had CDs. I had a CD that I put inside of the front of my car one time, and it melted into the console. It was so hot. The weather in Phoenix, oh boy, you better not leave an animal inside a car in Phoenix. You're going to jail. It's real bad out there. I'm talking about those temperatures. Woo, brutal. I came outside with my shoes off one time and stepped on the concrete. All I heard was like sizzling from the sweat on the bottom of my foot. The moisture from my foot touching the heat on the concrete. It is no joke in Phoenix. If you guys know what I'm talking about, y'all know what I'm talking about, how to get in Phoenix. Now, we got to go on over to Thailand because we got this wild elephant. I guess, you know, they say elephants are very smart and they can smell and sense things from a long place, from a far distance. I've heard about an elephant that did some pretty bad things to a lady one time when she was buried. He did some stuff to her body, and long story short, basically knew where she was buried at and basically went there a few times. These elephants are phenomenally smart. This elephant decided that he wanted to go shopping. He was in Thailand and he decided that he wanted some snacks. So the next thing that he did, he went inside the store and he took some snacks.
An elephant caused a commotion in a grocery store in Thailand when he strolled in from a nearby national park and brazenly helped himself to some snacks. The shopkeeper could do little but yell as the elephant devoured 9 bags of sweet rice crackers, a sandwich and some bananas. The elephant had been known to enter people's homes in search of food, but this was the first time he'd gone into a store. After about 10 minutes, hastily summoned rangers managed to shoo him safely out of the shop. As farmers push into forests for agriculture, elephants have been forced to venture out of their shrinking habitats in search of food, leading to confrontations that can turn deadly.
Now, the crazy thing about that is, I don't know if you guys noticed, but he literally has something tucked inside of his tusk as he's leaving. It looked like a regular customer. He's literally backing out and he's got something inside of inside of his nose while he's leaving. It looked like a brown bag too. That's the funny thing about it.
Hastily summoned rangers managed to shoo him safely out of the shop. As farmers push into forests for agriculture, elephants have been forced to venture out of their shrinking habitats in search of food, leading to confrontations that can turn deadly. Fortunately, this elephant left little damage behind, apart from some untidy shelves and an unpaid bill.
Untidy shelves and an unpaid bill. I thought that was kind of cute. I know that they said it could lead to something negative happening, but come on, man, let the elephant eat. Take a couple of viral videos. You get your money back off it. Just having the shop get that much fame. Look at Chance dying laughing. We got Natalie that says, just out for a stroll around town and got hungry, right, Natalie? That's right. I heard about that. They dug up the grave, and yes, you know what I'm talking about, Chad C. If you're old, move to Florida. It's like Disney Day in the real and the rednecks. Okay, what else you got over there? Respect Mother Nature, special animals. That's right. It was hilarious how he had that inside of his tusk, and he was just leaving like he went shopping. I would not do nothing to that elephant. I'd let him shop anytime he want. I'd probably, have a certain way that he can come inside of it. I think it's cute to tell you the truth. And I don't know about y'all, but if y'all trying to make some money, hit that link in the description so that you guys can fill out a survey. You'll make some money and I'll make some money too. We got up to $750 in surveys inside of the link in the description today. Also, if you guys are a promoter or you have a business, maybe you might be a mobile barber, a mobile groomer, I don't know what you guys do. Send me your posts and your promotions of your business. Make sure that they're 1080 by 1080 because that's what's going to fit in the post area in our post area, because we like to share in the demographics and possibly get you guys some more business. And not only that, but that's right, we're going to be in Throg's Neck on the 26th of this month doing the Show Your Talent search. We've already done Queens, so now we got to do Manhattan, Bronx, Brooklyn, and we got to go ahead and do Staten Island to make sure that we get all of our winners. We're doing a talent search, and we want you to come out and show your talent, not just for singers, not just for dancers. You could be able to do a wheelie, a backflip. I don't know what you're doing, but whatever you do, I want to see it. And if you come to the store that I'm going to be at, you can make $250 in the Bronx, in Manhattan, in Brooklyn, and in Staten Island. Okay, you guys, all you got to do is show up, put your name in the link in the description at the website, www.drinkbigdrip.com. That's drink, bigdrip.com. There's a join section. Put your name there. Make sure you're over 21 because you got to drink responsibly. 21 and older, please. You guys come out. I'm going to be the host. That's right. Your boy Bugatti NYC, sponsored by Big Drip Hard Punch. That's right. 14% alcohol by volume. www.drinkbigdrip.com. You guys come out. I want to see your talent in those boroughs. Boom, you're going to make $250. After it's all over, we're going to go to Manhattan where one person can win $1,000. I can't wait to see you guys. We got this show coming up on the 26th on Throg's Neck. I've already put promotion up. There's a flyer being made, so you guys are going to be able to see that once we get this going for the next show. It's your boy Bugatti NYC. This is going to be your last chance to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, become a member, turn on post notifications, and yes, be here every day because we are. Today is Monday, my favorite day of the week. Why? Because they got to pick up that phone. Get you some air, drink some water, understand that problems present opportunities. There's always going to be a problem, but as long as you can have the wherewithal, and that man upstairs keeps on giving us the strength to wake up every day, we're going to be able to knock them out, you guys. And that's why I want to keep on making sure that we got the energy to keep on moving forward. I appreciate you, Batty. Appreciate you, Rebecca, Jeffrey, Max, Chad C, VIP Auction Group, Batty Lynn, everybody. Everybody that come up onto this show every day, Casey, everybody that I always see, plus everybody that's joined the show. Understand we do this for a reason. We get up at 3 to pool. And then we do it again at 6 to hit that button, and we keep on rocking until it's over. And with that being said, you're dealing with the #1 show from 6 o'clock on YouTube that nobody can mess with because of you guys in the comments, the co-host, as well as your boy Bugatti NYC. This is our bottom line, not my bottom line, our bottom line. And with that being said, y'all could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. So until tomorrow, 6 o'clock in the morning, y'all know what it is. Get 'em! 1. Peace. Ha ha.